Welcome to the Providence, Rhode Island Raw. Now, I wish to apologize. I'm still sick, so I'm not really myself. That's one of the reasons why these reviews have been 2 days late. So I'm very sorry about that. But let's get into this. Dude, I want to say this, that now knowing the WWE is making their network, I can understand they're pushing it through the show. No problem with that. But what is this show supposed to be? Honestly, I can't tell what this show is. I can't tell, honestly, what the storylines are going. This show was so scatterbrained. It's ridiculous. Just for me personally. I mean, maybe it's that I'm sick and I'm just not in my right frame of mind. And I admit I have been very stressed out lately because of the situations of dealing with trying to get disability. I don't know if I got it. I've been told, but I don't know. So maybe all of this is maybe throwing me off. But you guys tell me below if this show made sense to you. Jack Swagger versus The Big Show. Nothing about it. It doesn't really matter. I mean, this is still trying to build up for him, and I really wanted to see Brock Lesnar versus Mark Henry. That's what I wanted. But I ain't getting that shit. I'm getting Brock Lesnar versus Big Show instead of a WrestleMania 30, which would have made sense. I'm getting it for Royal Rumble, which is stupid. That's just me. But it's not the point that Big Show won. He knocks out Zane Coulter for no apparent reason. If he was a heel, I would understand this 100%. And people are trying to, I'm sure people are going to say, look, he was just acting as a face. This is a bad guy. Yeah, but it makes no sense. Particularly if a good guy is supposed to be good, even if the guy's old. He's supposed to deal with Jack Swagger. He's supposed to deal with Antonio Vazzato, who acted like a bitch running away and then coming back. I understand that. But when it comes to this, for me personally, it doesn't make any sense. That made no sense for Big Show to knock out Zed. That's like a big character development hole right there. It's like you can't tell if he's heel or face. That's just me. Again, the next one. This is the New Age Outlaws. We got 2 words for you. We're gonna... Dude, New Age Outlaws with CM Punk versus The Shield. I didn't have a problem with it. It's good to see Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. I don't have a problem. I didn't see them a lot back in the early 2000s. So this is my chance to really get them. And I believe that's the reason why they're being pushed. Because what happened with Goldust, and I will be getting to him and his brother in a minute, really stands to reason that Goldust reinvigorated his career 100%. This man is over more than his younger brother is. And I really feel that's hurting Cody really badly. But it doesn't mean Cody's not okay with it. He may be alright with that as far as I'm concerned. He may not be that angry that his brother's getting. He loves his brother. So seeing his brother succeed probably will make him happy. But when you see the Road Dogg and Billy Gunn team up with CM Punk, and when CM Punk needs them, they back off and walk away. Where there's really been nothing that's been shown on Raw. SmackDown, yeah, they saw that something happened to SmackDown, I believe. But even if there was something or not, it makes no sense to backstab CM Punk. CM Punk has had... excuse me. I'm still sick. CM Punk has had nothing to do for months. They put him with the Shield. And essentially, you look like... it looked like the Shield was going to break up with CM Punk being a plot device for them. That didn't materialize. Now, we get Road Dogg and we get Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws, using CM Punk as a plot device to break off and then go after Dusty Rhodes' sons, the Rhodes brothers as I call them, so they can get a shot on SmackDown for the titles. What the fuck is that? There's no build-up. There's no plot device. There's no explanation. It's just done. Scatterbrained. Now, there was something that I did like, and I hope something does happen from it. Naomi and Cameron versus AJ and Tamina. Now, this was an ordinary, boring, dead match. The crowd in Providence wanted to see AJ. They got AJ. AJ kicked the ass of Cameron, and she won. But the person who showed a very strong showing was Naomi. She didn't get into the ring in the beginning at all. She didn't get in the middle. It was Cameron who did the entire match. But Naomi fought after the match. So that means maybe there's going to be a feud between her and Tamina or her and AJ. Now last year, I believe, no, year before last, in 2012, not 13, Naomi had one shot at TLC to go up against a champion. That was Eve Torres, I believe. She had a one shot to go up to that champion and face her, and nothing really happened. It's a possibility. They may think now that Naomi's over enough as a Funkadactyl and from the show that maybe they may try and see if she can actually go into the main event. And I wish to say Emma was shown. I've seen a little bit of Emma. It's not one of the most favorite things I see, that type of dance. It's like a walk like an Egyptian kind of crap. But it's something. Showing Emma on Raw was actually a nice touch. I don't know how far they're going to go with it. I hope they don't do a Bo Dallas type of bullshit. Bo Dallas with Wade Barrett, which happened and which didn't happen. Nothing happened. So I'm hoping this will do something with Emma. Now, Rhodes Brothers versus Curtis Axel and Ryback. Standard match. I really believe this is just getting them some face time. And as I said before, I really believe that Cody's really being kind of buried by his brother. I don't believe Dustin is really burying him on purpose. I mean, the people love him. That's just my opinion. And if I heard how Cody Rhodes is, he's actually a very kind person that loves the hell out of his brother. So I'm sure he's happy to see his brother getting over. I'm sure of it. And along with that, he is getting paid extra. But the problem for me is I really thought he'd make it into the main title scene by now. And he's not going anywhere, and that's upsetting. Really it is. Hall of Fame. I'm not going to say it's bad that the Ultimate Warrior is going in the Hall of Fame. And I'm not going to say it's good. I'm going to leave that for Debate of the Week, which I will be uploading as soon as possible. I'm going to be talking about WWE Network, and I'm going to be talking about basically the Ultimate Warrior in the Hall of Fame. Actually, I want to say something. I was always I am the Ultimate Warrior. My Maniacs. That was for Hulk Hogan. I used to get it confused when I was young. But the Warriors will rise. Then I would realize, wait a minute, I'm not doing that. That's not Hulk Hogan. That's the Ultimate Warrior. That's how it used to be, ladies and gentlemen. I know it sounds a little crazy, but I was always very confused sometimes with wrestling because I used to get Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior kind of mixed up. But I loved them both. But I know when the Hulk Hogan was really going on the wane, I really loved the Ultimate Warrior. And I am glad to see this. I am. But I do have some thoughts on that and who could be next and should be coming in there. And that will be my Debate of the Week. So I'm moving on. Let me see. ADR versus Ray. No better than ADR versus Sin Cara. This is trying to hype ADR for Batista. Do I actually want to see a Batista and ADR feud? ADR has nothing to do. Batista coming back is not going to have much to do. I mean, he will get heat or he'll get pops, counting on how he comes back. Because he was a heel when he left. Maybe he'll be a face when he comes back. I don't know which one. But it looks like they're going to bring back as a face because he is going up against ADR. It looks like they're going to do it. So essentially speaking, do I want to see this? No. I want to see Batista go up against someone more interesting. I'm sorry. I am really not feeling well. But in the end, what we're going to get is at least something. And I'm okay with that. Now, finally, the last few matches, which are kind of 3 matches that are 2. we actually got 4 matches. My mistake. Oh, I'm really not feeling well. John Cena versus Damien Sandow. Really? Good match for Damien. Good exposure for Damien going up against John Cena. Good showing for Damien against John Cena. Which meant absolutely nothing. He still is doing absolutely nothing. He had the Money in the Bank and nothing happened with him. He had the Money in the Bank with Cody, dealing with him, and then there was something happening. Then Cody left. Then he had the Money in the Bank and did nothing. Then he went up with John Cena and he lost the belt. I mean, more in the sense, the Money in the Bank is almost like a belt. But seeing this match, really, I didn't care. I knew he was going to lose. Don't get me wrong, it was a good match. But I knew he was going to lose. So why did I fucking care? I didn't. So, the next match will be Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. I know Kofi is being used as a plot device. Alright. When was the last time you saw Kofi win over Randy Orton? 2009. Boom! 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 I'm alright with it. Kofi got a win. Doesn't mean anything, but Kofi got a win over the guy who buried his ass in 2009 when he was fucking hot. The question's going to be this. Kofi is going to be in the Royal Rumble. If Kofi's going to be given a good showing because he won, I'm alright with that. If Kofi wins the Royal Rumble, I'll be fucking shocked. But essentially speaking, it was good to see Kofi win over Orton. And after what happened with John and Fabulous, as John Cena will call his father, who's almost 70 years old right now. John and Fabulous got his ass knocked out by Randy Orton. John comes out and well, at least tries to save his dad. This is just hyping up for the match. Am I interested? No. This is more like 2008, 2007, 2009. When they had that heavy rivalry, they're kind of rehashing it, and I don't really care for it. I don't really care about seeing them match each other. I'm sorry, just don't, ladies and gentlemen. I have no hyping for that match. Now, finally, the last 2 matches. Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan versus Usos. Both matches. What do we get? The first match, we get a DQ. Because Luke and Eric interfere. And when it comes to the general manager and the director of the board, I believe. I can't even remember what his name is. I don't know what. It's good to see that Kane has more to do. But director of operations, I believe that's it. But I just don't see much from Kane. And teaming him up with Brad Maddox, who's charismatic. And Kane can be charismatic. Feels kind of flat. And I like both these guys. But if Brad Maddox was by himself, it'd be alright. If Kane was by himself, it'd be alright. But putting them together like this kind of feels flat for me. You guys tell me below, please. I want to know. But the second match, which was a steel cage match, was a very good match. The crowd loved it. It was good. And in the end, the Usos won that match. But here's the problem I have with this entire situation. 2 weeks ago, Daniel Bryan gave in. It was December 30th. Daniel Bryan gave in and joined the Wyatts. When it came to the next, I think it's 2 weeks, is it? Oh my goodness, I can't even remember. It's been a while. I mean, it's been roughly 2 weeks almost. Nearly 2 weeks. It could have gone a couple of months. I was just looking at my account, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm not myself. But it's been maybe 2 or 3 weeks. It doesn't really matter if it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month. I'm saying 2 or 3 weeks. Why did they end it so quickly? The crowd wants to see him change. Yeah. But why do it within 2 weeks? So you can have a match between Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan at Royal Rumble? Then you could have waited until after this and then built it to go into WrestleMania. It would have had a bigger payout. Like I said, this show felt scatterbrained. What the fuck was WWE thinking about? Most of these matches made no sense. Most of what's going in storylines doesn't make any sense. This, where Daniel Bryan turns back into a face within 2 weeks, when it could have been a month, maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months, going into the next pay-per-view after Royal Rumble. I can't remember what it is. Either Over the Limit or... you guys tell me below. I'm just blanking on it. But you get my point. They could have built up for this. Yeah, the crowd wanted him changed back, but it could have been stronger. So I'm not going to give this a B. I'm going to give this really... I want to give this a C+. Bordering on B-. I'm really giving it a C+, because they did not need to turn Daniel Bryan back to a face within 2 to 3 weeks. He could have lasted at least a month or a month and a half before they need to turn him back on a Raw. That's how I feel about it. And this is my review. And I hope you enjoyed Zane's view. Please give me a comment, because I haven't seen many often because of how the new system is. You can't comment the way you have. So if you can comment, I really want to see it. And tell me how things are going. And please, I hope you have a good day, have a good night, and watch out for my next debate of the week on the WWE Network and my feelings about the Ultimate Warrior going to Hall of Fame and who should be next.